Across centuries, countries, and industries, the pattern repeats. Businesses worth millions? Gone. Family empires? Dissolved. It doesn't matter how carefully managed the money was or how big the legacy is. By the time the grandchildren inherit it, it's already fading. Economists have a name for this. It's called the third generation problem, and it might explain why so few family fortunes last, and why building the wealth is often easier than keeping it. It usually starts the same way, with someone who has nothing. The first generation works hard, takes risks, and builds something to last. So a business, a factory, or even a farm, something solid. They remember what it's like to struggle. So they save, they invest, and they teach their children the value of money, often the hard way. Then comes the second generation that grew up surrounded by success. Now, they inherit stability and not struggle. So they grow up educated, cautious, and respectful of what their parents built. And they may even grow the family business. But at this point, the mind shift has changed from survival to maintenance. Now, yes, they've grown up hearing all the stories of the bad times, but they haven't lived it themselves. And this subtle difference changes everything. By the time of the third generation, the family fortune has already started to disappear because they inherit comfort, not responsibility. Wealth, it's normal to them, right? There's no reason to protect it because it's always been there. And studies show of family businesses that 70% of them sell out or fail by the second generation. And by the third, over 90% are gone. And it's not always because heirs are foolish. It's because wealth changes how we think. When the struggle disappears, so does discipline. There are a few reasons why this keeps happening. First, inheritance divides wealth. Each generation splits what they receive between children, siblings, and cousins, so the family fortune gets smaller and smaller each time. Second is lifestyle change. Each generation lives a little bit larger than the last. Bigger homes, more comfort, more expenses, and the money that was supposed to be reinvested in the business is now used to maintain appearance. And third, time erases memory, right? As time goes on, the memory of how the business and the money was made fades, and so does the motivation to protect it. But it's not always inevitable. Some families break the pattern by passing down values in addition to the wealth, by teaching financial literacy, by keeping ownership within the family, by also skipping generations in leadership. In Japan, some family businesses have lasted for over 1,000 years. And it's not by chance. These family businesses focus on stewardship over profit. Each generation, they see themselves as a caretaker and not an owner. A great example is Kongo Gomi. Founded in 578 AD, it is the oldest operating family business in the world, focusing primarily on designing, constructing, and restoring historical temples and shrines in Japan. The third generation problem really isn't about money. It's about human nature. We value what we fight for, and we forget what comes easy to us. And as history often repeats itself, it usually teaches as well. So maybe the real legacy that we need to pass on isn't just the wealth, but the real reason why it was built in the first place. And with that, I'm Evan, and thanks for watching. If you liked what you just saw, then click on the video here. Also, if you haven't, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos.